Okay, so continuing the series of the specialization example flight videos, in this video we're going to look at aerial advertising. So the prerequisites for this are level 12, the commercial pilot's license airplane, and score flight seeing or skydive aviation missions with B or above. Let's jump into the very first aerial advertising flight now, see how it goes, and we'll take it from there. Okay, let's do this. .55, rotate. Let's get autopilot on. We'll climb out to 500 feet. Pull back the throttle. We will now start our heading to 250.
N22165, box 14. Don't forget to release the hook before you make your approach above the pickup zone. Secure your banner attachment. Aim directly between the two poles. Grab the banner, maintain a steady flight at about 6 feet, then adjust your pitch just right to hook the tow line. After that, you should climb out at full throttle and soar away to the towing zone. This zone is safe for you. Aircraft in the area are aware you're engaged in a tow operation. I've already taken care of it.
So that's me just checking back in with base. We'll now turn out our left, heading 160. Put a bit more power in. We can extend our pole. And I should be able to give this the focus it needs now. I don't want to overstress my flaps, so I'm not going particularly fast. Trying to do this and deal with operations is a bit of a nightmare. So I do apologise for that. We will now begin our heading. Pull the power back a little bit. 070. Turning on to base. And then again on to 340. We were a little bit early there, so I'll take the autopilot off. I will take back manual control. Pulling back on that throttle. We want to stay below 72, but we need to get as low as possible to make sure the hook actually grabs the banner. So
in for pickup.
Let's see if we can do it. as low as possible. Pitch up. We got it.
You hooked it.
Full power.
The banner's deploying.
Let's get the autopilot back on.
You pulled it off. Well done.
And we will climb
now
back
let's
up.
tow the banner on site. Just so we're on the same page. The hook zone is also where you'll release it once you're done.
Now the aircraft feels heavier. You can see we're not even climbing a VX yet.
2165, box 14. You're expected there in 4 minutes 30 seconds for your rotation above Palm Beach. Make sure the message is clearly visible from below. It's important.
So we can take the flaps out. That will help with the speed. And we'll start our left turn. On to pass approach. We do want to be at 600 feet, so we will put a bit more of a climb in there. As everybody who watches my videos knows, I would love to have used the GPS for this. However, it does appear to be buggy. It doesn't always load in correctly. And I don't want to be here for the next week trying to film this, so I will use the heading bug. If the GPS flight plan stops being so buggy, I would recommend using that. That will keep your flight a lot cleaner and smoother than this. Either way, we will wait till we're about intercepting these blue boxes, and then probably set a heading of south, because that appears to be where it wants me to be going. And we'll try 170 first. 170 feels good. I feel there's a bit of wind. Let's try 175. Right, now whilst we're flying out, let's take a quick look at the outside of the aircraft as we're on this approach. So we will go to the free camera. So you can see we're pulling this banner. I'm not really good at flying the drone camera. Either way, this is how it looks. You are pulling the banner. Now, let me get back into the cockpit and continue flying this flight. I don't recommend using your phone whilst flying. That's not part of the example video I'm trying to show. Do pay attention, make sure that everything is all good. But it's a long slog to get up to the coast. aircraft feels really like it's got a ton of drag on the back of it. And get to about 2 nautical miles, I start slowing down. So I'm now pulling the throttle back slowly because I want to introduce the first stage of flaps again, as it wants me to be below 72 when we drag this down the beach. But as always for these videos, I try to keep it as tight as possible for you. So let's take that first stage of flaps. Put some throttle back in now.
Go down the coastal zone at 600 feet above. You'll help the message be more clearly read.
She means red. Okay, so we'll start our turn onto basically north, and then we have to correct it back afterwards. Pulling that throttle back now. And now we'll adjust the heading to
I
about
see you're on site.
20.
I'm counting on you to make our client happy.
And basically we just have to fly it down these boxes. So actually I've got a heading at 10, but that's not going to be enough, so let's go 15. Maybe, again, maybe closer to 20 feels safer. It's all about the drift. Put a tad more power in. I don't want to overspeed. 17's drifting, so I'm setting 19. Again, if I had had GPS, it would have calculated all this drift corrections for me, but I don't have it, so slower is better, keeping it in the boxes. You want to keep those greens on green for as long as possible if you want your chance at getting an A. I have no idea if we're going to get an A, but you want those greens to be green for as long as possible. I don't mind flying slower if it keeps my greens green.
Curious about what's written on your banner? Eli, radio, red, blue, fun, and music. I dig jamming to that in my car. It's a good way to kill time.
To nav over some radio station, I guess. I'm making minor tweaks to the heading, as I feel like if we're drifting in or out of the boxes, I want to stay in these boxes the whole time. But it's typically between 15 and 20 degrees. Is the heading I'm keeping it between. see that airspeed slowly creeping up, so I'm going to just pull the power back a little bit. I don't want it doing that. I was tempted to try and get a look at the showcase camera. So this is us flying down the coast. Let's get back in that cockpit because I'm really nervous about...
Quick tip for you. Find the sweet spot with the plane's positioning, and the visual impact of the banner will surely help increase the customer traffic of the client. It's a game changer for the both of us.
I think I found the sweet spot. So if I point this way and then move the camera backwards. Take a screenshot of that, that looks cool. And back into the cockpit. Add a bit of power. Gonna put the heading up a little bit. 18. Just to be drifting a little bit inbound for my comfort levels. Speed's getting up there again, so throttle just gently back. I'm making minor adjustments. This hand's doing. I'm not just resting. Although I do that with the autopilot a lot as well, but making minor tweaks to things as we fly. It's all about minor, small tweaks, I think. Same with the helicopter stuff that will come out before this video, actually.
A great day for towing. I hope the client gets their money's worth.
So,
your final step is the drop zone. I'll give you some space.
ah, they're taking me back onto a long final. Okay, that's handy. Put some power in for just now. Get us back up to a decent speed.
Cessna, November 22165, 4 miles southeast, 600 feet inbound.
We know that we are going to want to stabilize on a heading of 340. Feels like we're a little bit off from it though. We need to do a bit of cross drifting.
N22165, Box 14, waiting for the banner at the drop zone. Don't forget to release it nice and slow. The banner is expensive, so please be careful when you release it.
Okay, autopilot off. Now I'm hoping it's one of the two buttons I have mapped to my joystick, whatever you call it. I'm going to use both and just see. So, one was to drop the stick when we first took off, and the other one I've got mapped to the grapple, which I think is potentially the one it actually wants me to use for this. So we're going to come in low and slow. I really wish the mission steps would tell me what the button is to press before I get over it.
N22165.
It's Z,
Box
okay,
14,
yep.
5 on
Approaching
5.
drop zone.
So it is the grapple drop. Saying I'm not aligned, I'm aligned with the drop area now. And I'm going to go wait for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, drop.
Careful, that's not what I'd call hitting the drop point.
Okay. She didn't seem happy about that. So now we're just flying the standard traffic pattern again. So we can do autopilot on, over to 250. Take the flaps out just now. I'm just going to do it at 600. There doesn't seem to be a point in doing it any higher than that. So we'll make our left turn onto 160. We'll power back a little bit, don't need to go that fast. I do wonder how many points we're going to lose for her saying we didn't drop it in the right place. Felt pretty good to me though. We're getting to the end of base, so we'll now make our heading turn on to 070. Sorry, I should say we've got to the end of downwind. We're turning on to base. Start pulling the power back a little bit. And set our heading to 340. Start taking the flaps in. Second stage, autopilot off. Third stage of flaps. Announce landing. Pull that power back. We want to be...
Lima November Alpha Traffic Cessna November 22165 is on final runway tree for to land.
coming in roughly 65 knots. Slightly less is fine. Too much less is not fine. But we are quite high, so we'll control that speed with our pitch. And our distance with our throttle. There we go. Not my most stable approach, however, it will be fine. Decent landing. We'll go and stop at the hold short, take the flaps out. And then we will skip the taxi and go straight to getting our score.
Hey, Captain.
Shut down.
Sonia mentioned the session was challenging for you. But with practice, you'll do much better. Let's dig into this together now.
God, she sounds depressed as hell, doesn't she? Everything went perfectly, and I got a B. Don't know what was wrong with my banner dropping precision, but anyway. Okay. So that's a aerial advertising fight. If you found it useful, please like and subscribe. Thanks for watching, and I'll catch you in the next one.